Hi, Annie and Luli. Today we're going to talk about chemical energy. Wait, I'm gonna make my face bigger. Okay. Okay, we've been talking a little bit about chemical energy, and as you know, it can be produced, or well, not produced, but food has. Okay, so we learned that one source of heat energy is chemical reactions. And the chemical energy in matter is transformed in chemical reactions to produce heat energy. When the chemicals in matter start to burn, heat energy it's given off. Like when I burn something, I get heat energy. During chemical reactions, heat can be given off or it can be absorbed from the materials or the surroundings. And when chemical energy is transformed into heat energy, we can say that work is done. Because remember that anytime a type of energy changes into another type, we say that work was done. For the vocabulary today, we only have one word, acid, ácido, a chemical compound. And here in the picture, I have some examples of regular acids in your house. Okay, so where does chemical energy comes from? Okay, chemicals have stored energy. That means potential energy, energy that could be used, but it's not being used right now, remember? So fuels like wood, oil, coal have chemical energy. They can burn. Some fuels come from what? Just what I said, oil, coal, and wood. Petróleo, carbón, y madera. Fuels don't make energy. They already have it. Burning and mixing chemicals can change the form of the energy in fuels, okay? So remember that, for example, if we're gonna talk about coal, okay? Coal comes from wood, okay? Wood comes from plants, especially trees. So through photosynthesis, trees take light energy from the sun to make food for the plant itself. This food has chemical energy stored in it. The energy from the sun became chemical energy stored in the tree, okay? The tree uses the food for survival and they store the sun's energy in the wood. The energy is not used until an animal eats the tree or the plant or when it is burned. When that happens, the stored chemical energy in the wood is changed into another form of energy. So when you burn a piece of wood, what you're actually it's accessing the chemical energy of the wood. Both plants and animals have chemical energy. You have chemical energy. Plants get chemical energy from the food made by photosynthesis, and animals get their chemical energy when they eat plants or when they eat plant-eating animals. So you see that all is depending on photosynthesis. Stored chemical energy can be used after an animal or plant dies. Let me give you an example, okay? For example, you have, let's imagine this is not a sunflower, but a grass, okay? Grass does photosynthesis and stores food in it, okay? Then comes a chicken, an animal, and eats the grass, okay? So the energy that the grass had stored in it as chemical energy, the chicken eat it, okay? And then imagine you get hungry and you eat your chicken. You prepare a chicken and you eat it. So the chemical energy that came from the plant and went to the chicken stomach, then goes to your stomach through the chicken, and then you are full of chemical energy to run and move and play. Okay, coal, carbon, has been formed from the remains of plants, okay? Trees and plants that lived long ago were covered and weighed down by sand and mud. The weight of sand and mud provides great pressure. It's pushing on it against the earth. And that pressure combined with a lot of time causes the coal to be formed from the plant remains. And here I have a picture, you see? Parts of forest were buried and underneath soil and with a lot of dirt and mud and time and pressure, it becomes coal, okay? Carbon. The chemical energy that was stored in the plants in these trees becomes chemical energy now stored in the coal. So we can say that the chemical energy that coal has initially came from the energy from the sun. The chemical energy stored in the coal can be transformed into heat energy and other forms of energy when you burn it. When you burn it, you access to that chemical energy that the coal has because the tree had it. Coal is burned in power plants to make electricity. Okay, and then we have oil. Okay, oil products are thought to come from the remains of tiny organisms and animal bodies. Okay, so coal comes from plant and oils come from bodies, from animals and microorganisms. Okay, these remains eventually fall into the sea floor. The pressure of sand and mud cause oil to be formed over a long period of time. So both coal and oil have something in common: pressure and a lot of time. And natural gas is formed near these oil deposits. Since the animals got energy from the plants they were eating, who got energy from the sun, oil has stored energy from the sun too. The chemical energy stored in oil is used to make gasoline that powers cars. The chemical energy in gasoline is used to make heat energy, which is then changed into mechanical energy. Like, for example, in a car engine, you burn gasoline, which causes heat. Heat moves the pistons in the car engine, and that causes movement, and that causes the car to move. Mechanical energy. Work is done from the chemical energy stored in the oil. And chemical energy is constantly being made from light energy and is being stored in plants. Trees can be replaced if you cut them. However, coal and gas take a very long time to be formed, so they are not renewable. Our supply is limited and will no longer be available someday. That's why scientists are trying to switch to a different source of energy because we know that we're gonna run out. Also, you can find stored chemical energy in other places. Mixing chemicals together can produce heat. Water doesn't burn, but if you mix certain acids with water, heat will result. Sometimes this causes an explosion. The chemical energy is transformed into mechanical energy and sound energy because you hear something loud. Or you can say that work is done. Okay? When chemical energy is changed to another form of energy, you have work. Like heat energy, not all work from chemical energy is useful. Sometimes you just waste it, okay? Burning chemicals can produce some useful work. Gasoline engines, ovens, stoves, furnaces that use gas, oil, coal, and what do? They control burning. They do it by in a controlled way to provide useful work from chemical energy. When the chemical energy stored in food is transformed in your body, useful work can be done. The heat produced from all of that chemicals in food maintains your body temperature so it's just right. Your breathing and your heartbeats, your heart pumping continues, and you can move your body. Work is done. Batteries also have chemicals inside. They have stored chemical energy, and when a battery is connected from one end to the other by a wire, like you see here, the chemicals inside react. Heat energy and electricity energy are formed. Work is done, and this energy can be used for light bulbs, to operate toys, or even to start a car engine. Okay, so as you see, girls, chemical energy, it's important because it's really useful in our world for us to be alive and get energy from food. And it also allows us to have electricity, to drive cars. And you can say that when energy transforms from one form to the other, then we are doing work.
It's 9 hours